Hello, welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jet Duxbury, and today I'm very happy to be joined by the rather lovely
Rachel K. Collier.
And I'm pretty hyped because you just did a performance over the internet to me, and I've been a very lonely boy in lockdown, so it's so nice to hear some dope music.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
I mean, it's killer. And there's another, you did do a video of that with you in a field, right?
Yeah, I did this in the field, but obviously it's pretty cool using like a power bank.
Yeah.
And so like
So
no
I implore
power.
you, go watch that video as well. And we've got a performance of it up here. And mainly today, you'll hear as well, this next video, what we're trying to do, I've never sat at an MC-707. I don't really know anything about it. And the performance you did, was that all coming from the MC-707?
Yeah, absolutely everything. So it's just all the instruments, all the sounds coming into the MC-707. And the vocal as well is coming straight into the MC-707. But that is coming via the Roland VT4. So you can have like a couple of like extra effects, you know, like reverbs and things like that. And it's just got some funky effects on it. So, but then you've got effects as well in the MC-707. So you don't actually have to have the VT4. You could just plug straight into it, but it's good just to have a few more toys to play with, you know. But that runs on battery as well. So it's like a total, you could just play without any power anywhere.
I watched your video on the VT4 and I think I need to get one.
It is really cool and easy to use, and it's quite inspiring. It's funny, like even when I've been writing songs with it, it gives you a bit of vibe instantly. So just if you sound rubbish, just down the microphone, you know, whack a bit of the auto-tune on there, you know, a bit of a flange going on. It's got the megaphone, it's got loads, and obviously it's got these 4-man shifters and things like that. So it is quite fun.
It did make me chuckle, that video. Right, but serious stuff, because the VT4 I can get my head around. MC-707, is there a way, how do you see it? How do you approach it? Maybe like you could give me a beginner's
Yeah, so...
How would you start?
Oh God, I've still got the auto-tune on. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's just like a built-in, it's kind of like a built-in track maker, if that makes sense. You know, you can build tracks with obviously Midi and audio, which is cool. So you can use, it's got 4 different types of tracks you can have. You've got the tone track, which is like all your synths and lead lines and things like that. You've got drum tracks, which is all the drums. And then you've got like a looper track, which is the audio coming in. And then you can also use a tone track to like put an instrument directly in, like this microphone, and it like works then as a mixer as well. So it's quite like, there is quite a lot you can do with it. You could just do drum tracks and tone tracks, but what my pull to it was definitely the audio feature, that you could then not only run audio into it and just have one unit to perform with, but you can also like loop up and sample that audio. So it's like a kind of build a track in one machine kind of box. That's kind of how I'd like to think of it anyway. But then it's obviously, it's a sequencer as well, so everything's on the grid, and you know it's kind of easy to build tracks, and you've got 8 tracks to work with too, so 8 different layers. So 8 different layers, and then you can choose between whether you want synths or like, you know, bass sounds, which is your tones, drums or audio, or then even you could run any instrument with a line in through the MC, which is cool.
And you showed it off perfectly, because I wouldn't have believed it when I saw the one in the field, especially because we've got you in the studio today.
Yeah.
But you really showed, and you can tell it's all live, and I was blown away because I didn't really know much about it. So we've got those 4 different types of track. Should I start an empty project?
Yeah, we can open a new session now, and then let me show you how it works. It's the format of it is really cool because it works with clips and scenes, which is like similar to Ableton. And anyone who knows me on the internet knows I'm a diehard Ableton
Queen
person.
of Ableton.
So that's kind of cool that it's got that similarity, and was very kind of easy for me to work this machine, because it was like, well, this is something I'm really familiar with. But then on the flip side, you know, it's doorless and kind of totally different as well, and a different workflow, I'd say, in other areas. But yeah, if we open a new project then. So if we go to project, which is in the top left-hand corner, and then we can just go to, you see these like cool little arrow buttons here next to the big value knob?
Yeah.
So if you scroll along, you should see new project, and then press enter, which is just above those arrows. Mine's coming up, do I want to write my session? So I do want to write that. So I'm just going to save that session before I do the new one. So write. And then it has this like processing window that pops up with a little spinning wheel.
Yeah.
And then, if we open a brand new session, then it defaults to a couple of drum tracks and a couple of tone tracks. So yeah, we'll let it do its thing. Is yours loaded up yet?
Yeah, I'm loaded up.
Yeah, mine's probably saving because I got loads of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So let's open mine.
You're so good at, you're one of the only other people I've ever seen on the internet that can keep the flow of talking when dealing with inherently technological products.
Loading.
And you can tell they've edited it.
So, opened a brand new project now. And then everything we've got here, obviously where we've got the select, these are all our tracks. Here's like the main faders for each of those tracks to control the volume. And then by hitting the select button is like how is the track that you're going to play, basically.
Okay, so track 1.
So track 1, select, and then you should have like a default drum kit. Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, so you've got this default drum kit here, but this is what's really cool as well about the MC. There's a load of sounds that are built in. So that Stay Wild track, I think only a couple of the percussion samples and obviously the vocal samples, I loaded in my own samples, but then the synth sound, the bass sound, the sub sound, all of those sounds were built in. So that's kind of cool.
That was part of my dweeby notes I made because they sounded really fat.
Yeah, so it's actually awesome. It's got loads of good sounds, and it's cool. The new Roland Synology plugin, which is really cool, like modeled on all these amazing like synthesizers. You can any patch from there you can load in as well with your SD card. So you do have quite a lot of options with the choosing your sounds. But so say now I want to change. If I don't want to work with this drum sound, we can just go up to sound here, which is above the value button, sort of on the left-hand side.
Got it.
And then you'll see it says preset, project, wave file, or record. So then you can just press enter for the preset, and then should come up bank, filter, drum.
Yeah.
You'll see you've got all these drum kits here then.
Oh yeah, should we go, what do you reckon? What do you recommend?
So, I don't know, I kind of like a combination of like the hip hop stuff.
Should we go 808?
Hang on, do the hip hop kit 2.
Okay, cool.
See that clap? Recognise that?
Hip hop kit 2, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? So if we do the little hip hop kit there.
Hey.
Amazing. So that's like a drum track, right? And then what we can do, so we've got that selected on track 1, and then besides we've got our filter, mod, and FX faders here, and we can assign them to anything we want. So if we want to have like a filter, reverb, delay, modulation, whatever, so we can do that. So that's pretty fun, and it will have some automatically assigned. So if you look at the filter here, it's automatically assigned to the cutoff. So like, let's try something that's a bit more obvious. You know, and then obviously, and here it's got decay. So that's kind of cool, the decay and then the reverb send as well. But anyway, so there's the track, and then Jack, right? If you come down now to the right-hand corner, you can see, this is really fun, the pad modes.
Yeah.
So pad modes, these are like, these are really important. And when I'm doing my performance, I am switching between these pad modes quite a lot, because this is kind of like how I can navigate around my arrangement, if that makes sense. So to do a sequence, to start playing, obviously we need the notes. So that's what we've got at the moment. But then we've got mute, which will then, like when we've got 8 tracks, turn into like mute buttons for each of those tracks. So that's cool. And then, but we'll do them one at a time. I'm not going to overwhelm you.
Oh, thanks.
So cool. So now all we got to do a little sequence is choose a hit we want to start with. So say the kick drum. And then obviously above us here, we've got 16-step sequencer.
Right, I see. Yeah, I get it.
And then, so there's 16 steps there. But if we want to have like 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, whatever, you come down to the start stop on the bottom left, you can see the measure, and that is where then, look, if you press measure, should see on your screen, it will say record measure.
Yeah.
So obviously 4 bars, 5 bars, 6 bars, goes up to 8.
Wow, that's good. That's very succinct.
It's quite cool, yeah. So what you do is you set the length of the clip before you play.
Let's just go for
1.
the first one, shall we? Yeah. Should we get a kick drum going?
Yeah, so then all
You
you
can
do...
see how little faith I have in myself on this stuff.
So you're like, right, let's do it. So it's really cool, right? So pick your hit, and then obviously put it wherever you want in your sequence. So mine's...
So can I tap it in here? So
you
if
just
I go
tap
1,
it in, yeah. So if you want 4 to the floor...
1, 5, 10...
1, 5, 9, 13, or try 10.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be the one.
Actually, no, 10 sounds cool.
No, you're being too nice. No,
Oh,
let's
I
go.
like 10, actually.
Okay,
Bum,
let's go 10
bum,
then.
Bum, bum. Yeah, man.
Works.
And then the similar thing then, for like the clap and all of that. What have I done? I've turned my cutoff right down. And then obviously, same thing with the clap. You can draw in your clap. If I do...
So is it multi... So if I'm on track 1,
Yeah.
can I then select that clap? And that's going to be on track 1 too as well?
Yeah, so
So
everything...
it's multi-timbre on there? Yeah,
everything,
cool. Right.
everything now is on track 1, right? So
Word.
all of these hits we can sequence, we can draw in as many different... We can also play them live, so we'll do a bit of that now. And I got to show you the repeat function, because that's really funky too, right?
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So first things first, say we just got... If you put your clap in on...
4, 8...
Oh, actually, that sounds a bit weird.
It's a bit weird with my 10, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sorry,
maybe let's
my
just
bad.
chuck it to 9.
9. Yeah, my bad. You're being too kind. You're being nice to your student, and you should just be strict.
I thought it sounded cool, but obviously to
thanks.
demo stuff, we'll. So I've got mine just 4 to the floor now, innit? Right, and now I'm going to show you. So that's basically step sequencing. We can just put those notes in. But what we can also do, we can play live, obviously, because otherwise that would be rubbish. So choose a little sound.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna risk it with the hats, you know.
Go for it, right? And then what you can do, you can see there's a record button, which is just like top left-hand side below quantize. And if you want, chuck quantize on, because that will make you...
Oh, yes, please. And that'll do live quantization.
Yeah, exactly.
Already, this is better than the MPCX, because that took me about a freaking hour to find that.
That's
all I want.
I never tried that thing.
Don't bother.
But yeah, so now if you hit record, right? So press play, hit record, quantize is lit up. And now if we do a little hi-hat, whoa, this is fast, isn't it? And then...
Oh, you did good. I'm going to try one.
I'll stop mine, you do yours.
Oh, shit.
So quick quantize.
Wow, I've been that crap. How am I that crap? Oh, I'm so bad.
So put your clap on the...
Baby steps, right? Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Oh,
that's
reggaeton.
cool. Bit of dancehall. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near that. That's all accident. You can see. I live in Guildford, for goodness sake. I'm so reggae. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go record. Let's go to the other track.
So no, just another stick. Go to a different pad.
And then record and play together. Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't have to do it straight away. You can wait as long as the button's lit up. Yeah. That's it. So you can obviously do it. You can play in real time. But this is really cool, Jack. I got to show you.
And it quantized me, which is what I want.
Say again.
It quantized me off the bat, right?
Yeah, which is
That's
awesome.
so good.
So the chord mode, right, lights up blue, and then you can choose any hit, right? You can hear this, and what you can do with these, you see it lights up here on the step sequence of different rhythms. Yeah.
Is that like note repeat?
Yeah, note repeat. So you could add then if you wanted.
Ugh.
So I'm going to lay this down with my
Slugging.
Cool. So you've got this note repeat function as well.
Yeah.
So that is pretty fun, right? And then if I jump to my scatter button, I think it sounds, oh, let me turn it up a bit. Yeah, it's really fun, man. So that's kind of 3 ways you can like input like different hits and just try to get a good groove going, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's all the things I'd want from a rhythm track. I think what we should do is we just carry on with you doing it, because you're it sounds so much better when you do it. On the next track, could you put, like, how do we address like tonal instruments? Because you said it's got a synth engine in there.
Yeah, it's got a really cool synth engine in it, which is like, again, that Xenology, it's got the same synth engine. I don't know the actual correct word for it, but I know it's fancy and cool. Okay, cool. So now, so what I can do to go to a tone track, Jack, right? I'm just going to hit select on my second track on my MC.
Done it.
And then if you play a note, amazing, right? And then this is cool. You see at the top end, it shows like a little keyboard. It's got the minus and the plus. That's our octaves then. So I can go down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's handy.
Yeah. So there's our little octave button. And then it's the same thing now. Obviously, this is just like a basic wave or whatever, saw wave or whatever. What's it called? Is it a saw wave?
Synthy stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's just a basic synthy thing. And then what we can do, same thing now. We've got our tone track, and we can go to sound, and then we go through, and we can go to preset, and it knows we're on like a tone track now. So it's going to give us like synths to try out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
I'm going to go for this one.
What's that? A horn blast?
Yeah.
It sounds like horn blast.
It's pretty fun, isn't it? Right? So then I can just load that little one in.
Enter.
Dun, 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 dun.
I checked out your Instagram, Rachel K. Collier.
I was, yeah, that always happens to me. I'm rehearsing something serious and I'm like, oh my God, it sounds like that. And then I'm like, in there, you know? Wow,
yeah, but you were playing lap dance the other day on Instagram.
Yeah. Sounds like it though. I can't remember what that sound was, but this sounds huge.
Oh, it's like Deep Underground, Jamiroquai.
That is cool, man. So there's your tone, right?
Yeah.
And then it's the same kind of thing then. So you can either step sequence. Oh. I obviously will probably prefer to play. So what I'll do now, obviously I don't want to play one bar, you know. I'll just probably jam for a bit, hit my drums. Wow, it's quite intense. I'm like, oh, that tom is different tuning, isn't it? But whatever, right?
Very aggressive. Considering how well we're getting along, it's a very aggressive sound.
It's really aggressive. Maybe it's not the one. Maybe we should go to something else. But just, you know, to show you, like...
exactly.
And what we'll do now then, obviously, is... This is where it's like a slightly different workflow to other sort of built-in things and that I've used, other doorless things. We set the measure now to a bit longer. So I'll probably do 4 bars or something like that.
Yeah.
So that means then we're going to have like a 4-bar clip. And we can change the measure later as well. We can put it down to 1, put it down to 2. We can like chop it up. We can put the steps right down to 1 step if we want it. It's actually cool. I should probably try and demo that in a good way. I'll just do like... This sound is sort of offensive actually. Oh, is that tom? I'm gonna have to mute the tom. Because...
Do it. You do whatever you want, Rachel.
That...
I think the sound's on a pretty dope sound.
Do you like the tom?
Roland.
If I take the tom out, because it's like, there we go. Hang on. Now I'm just composing it. Oh, that sounds like Star Wars. Right, let's just not take it so seriously. Ready? Should we do it?
Yeah, of course.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play Star Wars. 3, 4. God, hilarious. But anyway, so then there we go. I've got my little tone track in there, and then.
Hey, I'm not leaving you hanging. Do you want me to just share you? If you think that's bad, then listen to what I'm going to come up with. All right? Okay, let's give it a go.
Go on, go on,
record,
go on.
Start.
I like that. That's it. That's cool. That sounds better than mine.
Both of you we're so crunk up in here.
So then, right? So we've got a little drum track, we've got a tone track, and then if we wanted to, we could run like another synth into it as like just like using the MC as a mixer, which is kind of what I did with my vocal.
Can you just, do you want to show us that with your vocal?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Let me just add a new sound then here, tone track, enter, preset. So what can I go for here? I usually like a sub or something. It's always when you, hang on, let's go down here.
No worries.
Let's just do something funky like that, innit? It's nice and easy.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, we'll do that. Bit of the disclosure vibes. So, then let's do it. We'll do our record, 4 measures. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play Star Wars. There we are. That's a bit more inspiring, isn't it? Cool.
Hey.
All right, and then okay. So what we can do now, right? This is cool. We can either just like set up like a sampling track, or we can. There's 2 kind of types of audio tracks you can have. So one is just a sample, like record in a little loop, and one is like an actual channel on a mixer. You can just run that vocal through it, and then you can use all the built-in sounds, like the built-in effects that you've got set up on your MC.
Cool.
But what you can also do is, obviously this is important for me when I'm performing with it, I can route the vocal out of separate outputs on the MC-707. So that means I can record, when I'm recording my performances, or if I was playing live or whatever, then you've got control over that vocal channel and then over the rest of it, which I think is a mega plus to this. Because if it only had one stereo output, that would be limiting for me, obviously, to perform. And then when your engineer needs, you know, a bit more separation. So that's kind of cool. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. So on the back, we've got an assignable out.
Yeah. And that's what I'm running my vocal channel out of.
Oh, so in Stay Wild, when you got those little feedback loops, was that what we were hearing? Like, did you sample a little bit?
So that was actually coming out of the stereo pair 1 and 2, but the vocal itself is coming into the MC-707, but also going out of its own lines. So yeah, that's really important. Like, because obviously when you are going on stage, you know, you need to have a bit of control. You know, and obviously, because if it was just all stereo pair, you know, you can do a good mix of your track, and that can be a stereo pair. But then if you want to have that vocal separated, I think it's really important.
When you recorded Stay Wild into the H6 in the field, did you do that similarly? Did you
that.
Kind of have that track afterwards to process?
So I had 2 stereo pairs. So basically all the track and then the vocal. So the vocals like stereo effects as well. And that meant then when I came home, I could like just sync everything up, the video with the audio. And then if I wanted to turn the vocals up or down, I can. So that's kind of cool. Very
cool. It does it way more than I thought it would do.
Yeah, you think from the outside, but it does go deep. Like, so.
And it runs off batteries? Or off a power bank?
Do you know the company My Vaults? They're really cool. They're like, they're Irish actually, but they make these super cool, they're called ripcords, and they have like special ones for 12V, 8V, 6V, and then you just get a power bank that's powerful enough, and then you can power loads of different stuff, like loads. It's really amazing. So yeah, which means you can take your stuff everywhere. But the MC, that's also one of the reasons why I love it, because obviously I got drawn to little, you know, when I started getting into synthesis, like little synths, and but then it was always like, I remember being in parties and that, and I could never really sing, or I couldn't do my vocal effects. You know, when I say parties, I mean like geeky synth jams, and everyone be like, yeah, but you're a DAW girl, you just use a DAW and all this. And I was like, oh man, yeah, but I need, you know, I was like, how can I do those things I want to do, vocal effects, all this different stuff? And that's why I like the MC, because I can do all of those cool things with it all in one unit, you know, not having to take that and then maybe that and then that and that and that and that and a speaker, and then I need a little mixer to connect all my baby synths to. And yeah, anyway, so yeah, right, so let me just carry on, I'm chatting away here. So then this track, right, I can go to track 3 now and sound, and to run the vocal through I'm going to use a tone track. So I can go just load in any tone. Then if I go to my track setting, and you can see it says sound source, audio insert, and then I've got my microphone coming from the VT4 into the mic left mono. So there we go. And then you should be able to hear me coming out then of the MC. And hopefully, let me just enter that. And then, whoa, can you hear that reverb? I'm just running through the MC-707 like a mixer. So that's really cool. So then I've obviously got a channel there where I can set up to sing. And then, you know, these other knobs, the filter and the mod, I can, with the knob assign button, assign them to any effect that I want.
Oh, that's so simple. When you hit that, because I was thinking that was going to be a bit complicated. When you hit knob assign.
Hit knob assign, and then I'm on, so I've got track 3 selected. At the moment, if I turn filter, it's on cut off. Then if I go down to the little screen and the C1, you can see I can change the effect I want.
Oh, that is one of... Whoever designed this at Roland...
It's quite cool, isn't it?
I kind of want them to design everything.
It's cool. And then, yeah, so then I can have the delay send if I wanted it to. Try if my delay send is going to work. Whoa. So that's so cool that you can just choose those effects. So for Stay Wild, I had that modulation delay. So I'll turn those. And then the other track we can have, which is really cool, say track 4 now. To actually record into the channel, you need the looper track. So that's the 4th different track we can have. So we select that one, looper track. Now we've got channel 4, right? I've selected my looper channel. I'm going to go to shift. I'm going to hit input. And then you can see we've got some options here now. So I'm going to make it a mono channel. And then my recording source. Oh, that's still external. Oh, no. Yeah. And then my recording source, I'm going to select as the output of line 3. And that means it will record whatever I'm singing through line 3 with those effects on. So that's what I had in Stay Wild. I had like that modulation delay, and then I looped up recording the output of that channel. So cool. And then here, look, we can do the recording measure here as well. So let's do, if I do 2 bars actually, and then we'll play with that recording measure after, because that's kind of fun. So exit there. And now let's do it. Okay. Let's loop up something, anything will do. Let's loop up something, anything will do. Okay, cool. You got the reverse. Reverb. And then, right, go back to the... It's quite fun. So, yeah, and it's really just quick, isn't it?
Yeah,
and you could do this.
Totally underestimated this bit of kit.
And you could then do, like, if you wanted to be cool and do it properly, you could obviously stack up loads of harmonies and something like that, you know? And Jack, you will love this as well, right? Because you know it sends MIDI out. So what you can do, and I was doing this last night when I was jamming, right? I can then say channel, which one's this now? Channel 5. Say we just have a tone track here. Let's just load in anything, any sound we want. Doesn't really matter what it is. So we just load that. So we got some MIDI. And then we can, if we go to settings again, we can send the MIDI out to the VT4. So you've got to check this out, right? Hang on. So MIDI out. on. Let me just check. So MIDI out 1.
I can see where you're going with this, and I like it.
So MIDI out 1, cool. Exit that, and then I'm going to pull down because I don't want this track. And then we should have, if I turn the balance up on the VT4, we should be able to get a nice little chord. Now I just need to play something nice, because when I did this before I sounded better. So yeah, and then obviously you could then so then obviously I don't know what the hell key this is in.
Oh no way, you don't have to do it. You don't have to
but
do
yeah,
it.
you could do all this kind of cool harmonizer effect. Harmonizer. This is the weirdest track I've ever made, but basically, you get it. You can then send the MIDI out, which is pretty cool.
You're so amazingly brave and competent when you're in the moment. I love it.
Oh God, I spend days just playing around and.
I found someone who's prepared to commit more than I am on camera, and I'm so impressed.
Oh, it's all right, isn't it? I'm just doing a quick little, obviously, like. If I was composing.
But I think you deserve all the credit in the world, because I think there's so many people do it. When I watch other people's videos, I'm like, oh come on, man! Like. You're trying to pretending that. How many takes did you do? And then with you. Anyway,
No, I think it's cool. It's good to just.
That's for our discussion later. But on this bit again, with the microphone, how are you getting your mic in? Is it just the preamp?
2 seconds. Let me just put that back. Yeah. So with the microphone, is it?
Yeah. It's got a microphone preamp. Does that power? How are you powering that SM7?
So you don't need the phantom power for the SM7.
No, but does it give it enough juice?
Yeah, because obviously it's coming in. Well, it's going XLR into the VT4, so the VT4's probably got like a bit of a boost on it. But I think I've gone direct in, and it's been fine as well.
The VT4 seems such a perfect little companion.
Yeah, I think they're like husband and wife.
And then in a very silly way, because I think nuts and bolts wise, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And then. And you can, on the looper track, you can sample the whole stereo output, right? And
so you could sample so firstly, you could sample anything that you plug into it, or you could sample any of the tracks that you've made, which is pretty fun.
And then on a very silly, but silly quite a lot of the time, the colours are just way more extra than I ever thought they'd be from Roland.
The colours.
They look amazing.
You can choose the colours as well, which is pretty cool. And I love...
Well, that's what I was... Yeah, because you've got impeccable choice and colour coordination with your leads and everything like that. This must be a huge boon for you.
It is cool.
To be able to...
I haven't actually changed them myself, but I love that, like, when you highlight the track, obviously setting, the top thing is LED colour. That is funny.
They could sell it as a mood lamp.
That's it. I'm changing it now. Pink. It's really cool, man.
Pink everything.
Do you know what? I need to like change some of the knobs on these as well. You can see my System 8 is like loads of pink. I need to jazz it up a bit, but...
Well, I am going to ask you questions about that stuff. Hopefully, Rachel, if it's all right, I'd love to, after this video, pick your brains about some other stuff other than the MC-707.
Sure.
But I think that's... thank you for being such a good teacher and kind with me with this bit of gear. How long have you had yours?
So the Abbey Road event was last August, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last August. So I've had it just nearly a year now. So it's had a couple of firmware updates as well. So that's like enhanced it. Like the mixer thing was a firmware update, so that was really cool. The note repeat. And then obviously the Zencore stuff with the Zenology now, that's really cool. So that makes it...
Nice one, Roland. A nice one. You. Thanks again so much for beaming in. Hopefully in the future, you're always welcome here in real life.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I should come down. I just bought a bass guitar from you guys, actually.
Did we sort you out?
No, I just bought it.
Oh, Rach,
I know. Sometimes you just...
What's the point in doing this stuff if we don't get any money off? What's the point?
Next time I'll be like, Jack, give me a deal.
And before I go there, go check out, put your fingers in your ears, Rachel, check out all of Rachel's music. on Spotify. I think one of the things that people are forgetting, and it's not lost on me, that Rachel is not just doing YouTube. This is a professional producer. The music you're making is killer.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
And I think we're lucky that people this good are going onto YouTube anymore, and let alone teaching a Luddite like me how to use a bit of gear in a shop. So I appreciate it. On that point, play us your fat beat and we'll escape the video.
All right, let's do it. Ready? This is the best vocal riff I've ever come up with. Ready? Oh, bit filter. Anyone who hasn't seen the first part of this video will be like, Jesus, I'm not sold by that. Checking that level. Yeah, cool, man.
It sounds like ancient Sanskrit you're singing.
Weird, Jesus. I won't be saving that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play Star Wars. 1, 2, 3.